Good morning, students. Welcome back to the chapter of problem solving methodology. Problem solving methodology will be discussed before we start the programming chapter. It forms the base for programming, computer programming, which you will be learning in the later chapters. And this chapter is important because this chapter carries 17 marks. So you need to study for 17 marks. For sure, you will be getting 17 marks questions from this particular chapter. I was supposed in the previous class, I was telling you about decision making, and there is before starting decision making, I have to discuss one more important topic which I have left out. And before completing algorithm and flowcharts, I need to discuss one more important topic, and that is characteristics of algorithms. So, characteristics of algorithms. So, characteristics of algorithms, there are 5 characteristics, and we will be learning each one of them in detail. So, the 5 characteristics of algorithms begins with input. The first characteristics is algorithm. Sorry, the first characteristics of an algorithm is input. By this time, you are familiar with the process of writing algorithms. Usually, when we begin, the first ever statement will be read or accept input. That means without input, you will not be able to do processing. Input is required. See, if you have to add 2 values, you require 2 numbers. Without 2 numbers, you will not be able to add any values. See, if you have to calculate area of circle, you require radius. If you have to calculate area of triangle, you require base and height. Likewise, different operations requires different set of values, and input is required. Without input, we will not be able to process any sort of information. For example, if you are calculating, if you want to exchange 2 values, you need 2 values. Without values, you will not be able to exchange. For example, if I ask you to do, say, addition operation, the next question you will be asking is, Miss, which are the 2 numbers which I have to add? Without taking 2 numbers, you will not be able to add. Similarly, if we are not giving input to the computer, it will not be able to process. So, a algorithm, for sure, there will be at least one input statement. The input statements helps us for what? Accepting the data values required to perform the required operation. The required operation, whatever may be, to perform that we need some data, input values, and the input can be accepted through input statements. Next is definite. The next characteristics of an algorithm is definite. Definite means precise. There should be clarity. There should not be confusing statements. Say, only when there is a clarity in the statement, it is easy to understand. So, what are we doing? So, clearly you have to write definite. There are be confusions in this. So, definite means the steps should be very clear, the operational steps. So, what are we are performing, that statement should be very clear, saying what are we doing. There should be no sort of confusion. That means when you are writing an algorithm, make sure that you use clarity in the algorithm by making or specifying definite steps. The next one is, the next characteristics is effectiveness. So what is effectiveness? See, when you start writing the algorithm, before writing the algorithm, we should sit and check what are the different possibilities and which is the best way to obtain the result. We need to go about, sit with a pen, pencil, work it out, and then we should start implementing those steps. So that, for example, imagine to solve a problem, one solution may take 10 steps. So if we do it using another method, that may take 7 steps. So there may be another solution which may take 6 steps. The effective algorithm will be the one which takes 6 steps, and we need to implement that. So that is, effectiveness means before adding or before writing the operational step or the statement, one has to sit, work out and think about the different various ways in which the same problem could be solved and the best solution can be selected. So that is called effectiveness. Effectiveness means, so before actually designing the algorithm, we need to sit and we need to find what are the different possible ways and which is the best solution. By using which solution I can make things much more faster. That is called effectiveness. Then the next comes terminate. So when writing algorithm, as I have been telling you people, there is always a start and the last statement is always end. That is stop. Once we start the process, it has to be terminated, ended. The next characteristics of algorithm says that a process has to get terminated, it has to be ended. Once you start a process, it has to be ended. Terminating is ending. So you need to end the process. That is called terminate. So the next characteristics is output. So we need to produce the output. We are writing an algorithm to process something. After processing whatever the result we are getting, we need to output it. So generally when you recall the algorithms what we have written, I think the best way to discuss this topic is now, because you already have some knowledge about a algorithm. If I explain these things, you will understand. One way it is good that we are discussing it now, so that you are familiar with the algorithms, and now you can relate what I am telling to the algorithms you have written. See, you write an algorithm to find sum. So you write an algorithm to find sum. Why are we writing an algorithm? We are writing an algorithm to find sum. When we start to find sum, we require two values. That means we have to input those values. Input is required. And then after inputting, I have to compute to get sum. Otherwise I will not get sum. See, if you have to get sum, you need to add. If you subtract, you will not get sum. That means, so you should make a statement clearly that sum A plus B plus, that means you are adding to get the result. So that is definite, effectiveness. Then we have terminate. As I have been teaching you the process of writing algorithms and flowchart, you might have observed all the algorithms start with a start and ends with a stop. Stop should be there. Stop terminates. It indicates this process ends here. The termination of the process. That is very much required. And then we have output. So we write an algorithm and a flowchart to process something. So we write an algorithm to find sum. We write an algorithm to find area. So after finding area, you should output it. You should give the result. So we give the result in the form we can tell. Human beings can tell, okay, this, when I add 10 and 30, the result is 40. See, computer, when it gives output, it prints. It prints on the output devices. So these are the characteristics of an algorithm. Input, definite, effectiveness, terminate, output. So input, to perform any operational steps in an algorithm, before performing any operation, we need to input the data. Without inputting, you will not be able to perform the specific operation. For example, if you want to find sum, you need two numbers. If you want to find area of circle, you require radius. If you want to find area of triangle, either you require three sides or you require base and height. Without input, you will not be able to process the any operational step, you will not be able to implement. So then we have definite. So definite, there should not be confusion. The steps what we write should be very clear. Operational steps should specify what are we doing. So we write in the bracket accepting two numbers, computing area, so that we are making sure we are very definite about the steps what we are following. Effectiveness, I know effectiveness, as of now you are very new to the process of algorithm, it's fine, and effectiveness and all you can think about this in next year. So where we will see the different solutions and then we can decide on which is the best solution. As of now you just think that effectiveness means before writing algorithm, one should sit, write and try out different methods and then select the best possible method. Maybe you need some time to understand this effectiveness. As of now, don't worry. Effectiveness means you just think before writing an operation step, we are selecting the best possible method. Then we have terminate. See, whenever we start a process, it has to be terminated, ended. Anything which starts gets ended, right? So there should be a ending statement, terminating statement which states this process stops here, and that should be there. And in our algorithms we have stop. Next comes output. So output is producing the desired result. You simply don't write algorithm, right? We write algorithm for a purpose. A question is given. So first is problem definition, understanding the problem, analysis. We will think about how we can solve the problem. Then we write algorithm. So we understand what is the problem and what input is required, what output has to be generated, what is the desired output, and desired output has to be given in the form of result. You write exam, right? You take up an exam. What if the results are not declared? It has to be given, right? To know how you have performed. Like that, here also you write an algorithm and you have to produce the desired result, the required result. That is the purpose of writing an algorithm. Hope you have understood this. These are the characteristics of algorithms. Input, definite, effectiveness, terminate, and output. If you have any doubts, we will have a doubt clarification session, and you are welcome to ask any questions. If anything you have not understood, kindly make a note of the things what you have not understood, so that we will sit and we will work it out. So this is about the characteristics of an algorithm. Let's move on to the decision making statements in algorithms and flowcharts. Let us see how we can use or do decision making. So as I told you, in textbook, I know all of you have got your textbooks. When you just go through the textbook, you may find a little confusion because there is no explanation given, and you need not worry. Once the college starts, I'll be giving you the notes using which you will understand many things. So let's get started and see how we can use the decision making statements in algorithms. So let's start the decision making statements in algorithms. How do we take decisions? So we take decisions by thinking. We think, then we take a decision. We will have some things in our mind. Based on that, we decide. Many things we decide on based on our thinking. We decide and then we think, then we take a decision. For example, imagine we have two numbers, x and y. X has a number, y also has a number. X has a number, Y also has a number. Now, so imagine you have to tell, we have two numbers X and Y. Imagine you have to tell which is largest, X largest or Y largest. You have to tell X largest or Y largest. So if I ask, come and tell me X largest or Y largest. See, if I give you numbers, within fraction of a second you will tell. Say, the numbers I have given is 90 and 14. So, pattanange ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ ಎಷ್ಟು 90 means X is largest ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ. How did you tell that? So, how do we decide that 90 X is largest? That is because X value is 90, 90 is greater than 14. So therefore, as 90 is greater than 14, we decide that X is largest. Suppose imagine X is 90, Y is 140. X is 90, Y is 140. Which is largest? Yes. I can expect from your side the answer will be Y. That is 140. Why? Because Y is, that is 140 is greater than 90. Therefore, 140 or Y is largest. Now, as earlier you told, 90 is largest than 14. And now we are telling 140 is larger than 90 because 140 is largest. So imagine you need to decide whether X is largest or Y is largest, but you don't know the values. Values are not given. So imagine X has one value. What value? We don't know. Y has another value, but what value? We don't know. Now, we need to decide X the largest or Y largest ಅಂತ decide ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. If you know values, fraction of second we will decide because human beings are so intelligent. ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ನೀವು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಯಾವ್ದು ಚಿಕ್ಕದು. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then how to decide? See, if X value is known, Y value is known, in no time you will decide which is largest. But now the problem is we don't know the values. We don't know the values. But there is a value in X. Y has another value, but we don't know what are the values that are stored in X and Y. In such a case, we decide on this logic. We say that if X is whatever value X may have, if X is greater than Y, then X is largest. Otherwise, if irade erad number, first number largest illa andre, then Y is largest. That means we are comparing the values X and Y value to take a decision. To decide which is largest, we are comparing X and Y value. We are comparing X and Y value. If X is larger than Y, then X is largest. If Y is larger than X, then otherwise Y is largest. So same thing, human beings, we do have eyes, we can see and we decide. So otherwise, if somebody asking you to tell which is largest, suppose if imagine I am telling you, okay, this is the number, you compare and tell me, you will tell. But imagine if we want to make our computer to take a decision and find largest among x and y, and computer can see and take a decision. Computer takes input x and y value. And now you want to make a computer to decide, to take a decision as to which is largest. So for that we will be using some statements, decision making statements, which will help us to do this task. So we can write a statement, decision making statement. With the help of that we can make a computer to decide which is largest, the largest among two numbers. So first let us see, first let us accept the two numbers. So we will write an algorithm and a flowchart to find largest among two numbers. As we know that whenever we have to find largest, we need two numbers. Let's first accept these two numbers. So you can take A, B, X, Y, whatever you want, whatever you wish you can take. See, when we have to decide which is largest, first we require two numbers. And two numbers we have taken is X and Y. X and Y. Now, see, when we have to take a decision whether X is largest or Y is largest, we need to compare two values. Then only we can take a decision. So, we take a decision by comparing the values. So, the next step is compare X with Y. So only when we compare we will get to know which is largest. So how do we compare here? So we compare using a decision making statement called if. If will help us to compare the values. Here we are comparing X and Y, and the same can be compared using if statement. If A